Welcome. You're listening to The Radke Show with David and Melissa Radke.
I'm not going to wear a hat.
You were.
No, I was, but I'm just saying it's far too hot. I'm in menopause. I can't continue to wear a hat every single day. Also, I went to ChatGPT and asked different ways to speed up your hair growth. And there really aren't. But I've been doing a scalp massage every night, hoping that would help. But your hair grows half an inch a month. Was I going to wear a hat every day for 6 months in order to get 3 inches of hair growth? That's not even possible.
I feel like your hair might grow a touch faster than that.
It does grow pretty fast. But I will tell you this, the last thing was I'm not going to let my mother-in-law get her jollies off of this head of hair. Tell him about that, David. Tell him about that. Tell him about how we went to dinner and what she said to me. Tell him about how she tried to quote scripture to me, David.
But so we went to dinner with my mom the other night, and she was so cute. First of all, laughing.
Even when we got home that night, David was like, "Wasn't my mother so cute?"
But she was reading scripture, I believe, in Ezekiel, and it talks about how you shouldn't be bald, but it also said you shouldn't have long hair. Your hair should be short and kept, basically. Mm-hmm. And so she was just so happy and excited that after all these years, Melissa was actually, doing something.
Zoom in on that camera right there. Here we go. Ready? This is what I think of that. Oh, no. You're not going to tell me I'm living in a blessing. I'll tell myself I'm living in a blessing. Keep in mind, she said this to us while I sat across the table from her wearing a ball cap.
Wearing a hat.
Okay. Then on Saturday, that was Friday night, I wore a ball cap. Then on Saturday, I wore like an Aunt Jemima red bandana around my hair all day. And that's when I knew something had to change.
I didn't feel like saying it because I didn't feel like it would help your feelings. And I knew it wouldn't help my feelings. But you looked far more ridiculous on Saturday with that little do-rag on your head.
You know what's funny? Y'all, the difference in generations, right? So Rocco's girlfriend, Taylor, was with me when I came out of the bedroom wearing a do-rag. And she was like, oh. And I said, I know, Taylor. I look like Aunt Jemima. And she went, huh? We go down to my Aunt Melba's house, me and Taylor. We drive the truck. We go down to Aunt Melba's. I walk in. Aunt Melba goes, well, my Lord, Aunt Jemima, come on in. And Taylor went, huh? And then later in the afternoon, after we had left Melba's, we went over to my Papi and Noni's, to my parents, and Taylor was with me. We walked in and my dad goes, why are you wearing your hair like Aunt Jemima? And Taylor goes, okay, I just have to ask, who is that? And what side of the family is she on? She thought I really had an Aunt Jemima. And I said,
well, you do got a Aunt Melba. So
I said, you don't know who Aunt Jemima is? And she goes, I have no idea what y'all are talking about. I just assumed that was in Rocco's family.
Well, there's two things. Maybe her family has never used that syrup that,
But didn't they change?
But also, yeah, I can't remember. It didn't seem like it was too long ago, but they
still have her in the glass bottle. She's still the shape of that glass bottle.
Oh, yeah. They're still objectifying her body, just not her name.
Oh, my word, David.
And I don't know. They may have actually, they've gone back on a couple of those things. Like they're, pushing back on some of those.
Yeah, they changed Aunt Jemima pancake mix to like Millhouse Stoning brand or whatever. And then it's, and now I think they've brought her back. But all I'm saying is this generation, they don't know. They don't know Aunt Jemima, and she's the best.
She is the best. And she made some money.
That's the problem if she didn't, and that's wrong. That's wrong.
Well, you never know. From what I read, she actually did. She actually did benefit from it.
Which brings up another topic that, God forbid, we bring it up because it's not on our board.
God forbid.
God forbid I bring up something that's not on the board. How will he follow along? How will we make it out of here? Okay.
You know what I would say?
What?
Put it on the board.
Okay. Speaking of, if they used her body or her likeness, like for instance, if they really did take an older Black lady who had those rosy little cheeks and that great smile and put her on a box, and then that woman herself like never made a dime, and that, like David said, they're still objectifying her body by putting it in a glass bottle, that's very wrong. But it brings up something kind of off in left field. That
It brings up to me, if you think about it, she was the original genie in a bottle.
Go back so they can see how hard you're laughing at your own self. And that was terrible. No, listen to this though. Seriously.
It really was. That was pretty good.
I'm going to say something that might be offensive to an older crowd. So some of you that are listening today and y'all are, let's say, I'm going to give a number. I would say 65 plus. If you are 65 plus. Y'all got to be sure that something on social media is real and not AI generated before you leave a bunch of comments. AI generated people, AI generated memes, AI generated clips are becoming very prevalent. Okay? And y'all are going bananas over things and commenting. And the reason I know it's y'all in this older demographic is because I came across a clip. Okay, let me explain to you what it was. And it's not funny. It's a kind of a serious thing. But it's what I saw.
Well, this really hits home. I'm not sure about what you're about to.
But don't make a joke, because I really am about to say something serious. You're about to make a joke. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say this hits pretty close to home, because last week there was an AI generated video of you,
I hate you already.
taking things from your mother's house.
And see, that wasn't even real.
And the people, and you probably picked a good age, about 65. They were in the minority by far. I mean, there was just a very small group. They were that they were very upset.
There was y'all.
They were upset, and you were breaking 10 commandments. And it was pretty heated there.
Okay, I don't even know where to go.
The majority of people thought it was hilarious, but AI has even hit us.
Okay, we're going to discuss that, and then I'm going to go back to my AI. What David is referring to is I put up a video last Thursday. Yeah, last Thursday. I put up a video, or Wednesday, and it was of me. David was driving the truck. It was me in the front seat. My Aunt Melba was in the back, and I was showing all the things that I had just stolen from my mother's house. Now, you need to know that only 4 or 5 days before, I went over to her house, just straight went in her bathroom and took her hot rollers. Took them. Wanted to try them in my hair. That's before I got it cut. Realized I didn't like it. Took it right back. Okay. Later that night on the phone, I was like, hey, I didn't tell you. I took your hot rollers. I'm going to try them and see if I like them. She's like, okay. These things that I had taken from my mother's house, there was a body lotion. There was some perfume. A lot of times I will see something in my mom's house and I'll like it and I'll take it. 98% of the time I take it back. 98% of the time. I'll use it for a little while and then I'll be like, Mom, I brought this back to you. And she'll be like, well, my Lord, Melissa, I didn't even see that it was missing. I don't like it when you do that. But it's also just content. I'm just being funny. I'm just taking stuff and being funny. People left me the meanest messages about how can you literally break a 10 commandment, Melissa, and then want to do an evening prayer for us. Praying in one hand and stealing in the other. Okay.
Well, you got to repent someplace.
David wasn't having it. And he went on there and started commenting to ladies because they were being so hateful. Of course, just on Facebook. Nobody on Instagram said a thing. Everybody was dying laughing on Instagram and on TikTok. But on Instagram, they're like, how dare you pray for us? And I had to delete messages from women who, when I would click their profile picture and go to them, they looked like they were a 71-year-old grandmother with a little child holding flowers in their lap. I mean, they were just the most normal, happy women. How dare you do an evening prayer with us in one hand and steal from your mother? Where's the sense of humor? It's content. I'm a content creator. Or as David said, because it's a quote in our house from Jerry Seinfeld.
She makes jokes. She's a joke teller.
Jerry makes jokes. No, Jerry makes jokes. He's a joke maker.
Joke maker.
You were so mad.
Well, it's just now a couple of them. I tried to be a little nicer.
Yeah.
Going,
see those, I guess.
Well, I say nicer. I was just like going, evidently you're new around here, but Melissa's kind of funny. Maybe read some context, maybe look at more than this one thing or just a couple of videos and get really the sense of everything before you're going to put your name on something that makes you look kind of silly.
Right.
Now, there was a lady that I said, you clearly did not have the ability to laugh in this season of your life, so I don't think you're going to like it here.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
David.
And somebody,
she was really hurting.
Now, somebody else commented, this was from another situation a while back. I could tell just by looking at who the person was. And they said, why are you blocking comments? And I wasn't able to reply to them. I wanted to reply to them, but I couldn't because I wanted to tell them.
Was it my mother?
I wanted to tell them, oh, no. We don't block comments. We block people.
Yeah.
And so I blocked her. So I couldn't do
Was it my mother?
No.
Okay. All that to say, sometimes it's just in good fun. Like let it go. It's just in good fun. But what I was saying about the AI thing. So this is a more of a serious, you guys, honestly, if you have been on social media since last Wednesday, or was it last Wednesday? Hasn't it just been a nightmare? Hasn't it just been egregious? It's just been shocking since the terrible passing and the way that it happened and everything surrounding it of Charlie Kirk. It's just been so violent, I guess you could say, just social media in general.
Visceral.
And so I was looking at some Facebook reels Sunday night before bed. I was just kind of scrolling through, looking at a Facebook reel, and I came across this woman, and she had blonde hair, and it was about down to here. She was wearing a blue sweatshirt, and she had on a red hat, eye-catching red hat. And it said, "Make America Great Again." But it didn't say it like the normal maybe hats. It looked a little bit different. I don't know how to describe it, but stick with me. And there are people behind her, and she's screaming into a mic, and the clip is about 8 seconds long. And here's what she says. Are you ready? She said, in fact, I want you to go to a double camera because I want to see your face when you hear what she said. There is a very big difference in what happened to Charlie Kirk and the school shootings for these kids. His was a tragedy because he has a wife and children.
But surely that was made up, right?
The comments were of people beside themselves. She is comparing a tragedy for Charlie Kirk, but not a tragedy for school shootings. You guys, that was so AI generated that even the hat looked weird and comic, like literally animated. If you looked closely and to someone who is not used to seeing AI or doesn't quite know what to look for, you might have thought that was real. I counted, I think there was 2.3 thousand comments, and I bet you money 2,100 of them were violent, just so mad at her. She doesn't exist. That wasn't real. Someone rage baited you. And if you've not heard that term, explain what that is.
Well, there's a lot of it going on. It's been online for a while, but I do think it's only going to increase because of the last week or so. But it's basically someone that maybe they don't even have any belief in what they're saying, but they want clicks, they want views every time you comment, every time you click, every time, whatever, even in a negative sense, it pushes that. The algorithm goes, hey, people are responding, they're engaging. It pushes it, it goes out to more people. And these faceless pages end up making money. And so they might not even believe what they're saying. I would assume maybe 90% of the time they don't. They're just trying to rage bait you. You're just tossing something out for you to become rageful because it was so ridiculous what they said.
What will happen is people will comment, and Facebook will see those comments and think, oh, a lot of people are commenting on this. Facebook is like, the more comments, they're going to get money, right? Because it's holding people's attention. Don't ask me how that works. Don't really know. But that was what was happening. That wasn't real. Even the people behind her weren't real. They were animated looking. If you could kind of tell that they were kind of animated looking, that wasn't real. That wasn't a real clip. If a woman was standing out front of a building with microphones in her face and she was saying, there's a big difference between school shootings with small children and Charlie Kirk. His was a tragedy. That would be on the news. Everybody would be talking about that. That wasn't real. And I want to remind you, or at least tell you, maybe you don't even know this. Beware of bots. Beware of bots. Sometimes you're fighting with bots. Sometimes that wasn't even a person at home in their mother's basement that created that little clip. It's a bot that creates it. David was just saying it's faceless and nameless. That's a bot. They create those, and those go out into the world.
Yeah. And it just, here's the thing. So there are some people, whatever side you are on any topic, if it's politics, if it's religion, if it's lifestyle, whatever it is, there's people on either side that will post something that they do feel strongly about, and it may bait you into rage. And then you've got some that if you slow down just a little bit, you'll probably see that, okay, that's so ridiculous. But here's the thing. When you get pulled into that, if it's like I said, a nameless, faceless bot page that's just in it for money, or if it's somebody with differing beliefs in you, when you engage, you're actually benefiting them. So don't engage.
That's right.
Number two, I don't think I've ever heard somebody say, I had this strong, long, hard belief in XYZ, but you know what? Somebody commented on a post I made and they called me all kind of names and they challenged me. And I really looked at everything different after that. You're not causing any change. You're not providing any benefit by doing that, but you are pulling yourself into a fray you don't want to go in, but you're also benefiting someone that I don't think you want to benefit. So the reverse of that is when you see something that you do believe in, or it does make you laugh, or it does make you think, those are the ones that you should be commenting on. Those are the ones you should be clicking and sharing, because then you're benefiting people that you actually believe in and support. So
on a completely much lighter note, one of the reasons why this was kind of fresh in my mind was because this weekend, college football, that's all he does is college football. And I went over to my parents on Saturday night and just hung out with them for a little bit because they at least watch the Astros and I can watch the Astros. And my mother sees me in this do-rag on my head and she's like, just show me your hair. And I wouldn't show it to her. And she said, well, I think that you would look really cute with this cut. And she turns her phone around and she shows me this cut on this girl. And she goes, you kind of have her face shape, Melissa. And she's got that blonde hair. She looks a little bit like you. And that's why I think that your hair would look so cute like this. And I said, well, she's not real. And my mother went, what are you talking about? She's not real. She's right here. She's moving her head around and showing it to you. She's showing all sides. Well, I said, I know, but she's AI generated. She said, Melissa Page, Jean. And what is she talking about? She held it up. It was an AI generated image. Nothing wrong with that. There's lots of those coming out where it's an AI generated person and they're showing you different hairstyles. Nothing wrong with it. You can create the perfect hairstyle and style it exactly perfectly. And my mom did not even know that wasn't a real person. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful. Just be aware of that. It's just something for all of us to think
They
about.
have really, the technology on those has really improved. Like you used to be able to tell because it was a little off. Now, most of the time you can tell because it's not off at all. Like it's like precision. There are so many of those. Have you seen the Tai Chi? Is that what it's called? Some ancient, exercise or whatever. They have all these videos over the internet of people, talking about it and how it's good for you. And I'm sure it's fine, but you can clearly tell it is totally AI generated, but it looks so good. That's how you know. Well,
y'all, I got to tell you this. David, you're going to think this is funny because you're going to think like, who could be stupid enough? But I was. One of my favorite things to do, if I can't find anything on TV to watch, sometimes I will lay in bed and I will go to YouTube on my TV and I will type in upcoming trailers 2025 or rom-com trailers 2025. And I'll look at movies that are set to come out. I don't ever get to the movie theater late. I want to see what the trailers are. I want to know what the upcoming movies are. I just love movie trailers. I always have. I was scrolling through there the other day and I was looking at the new one that Hugh Jackman's got coming out. And I was looking at the new one with Bradley Cooper. And then I came across one called Titanic Part 2 coming out in 2026. And I was like, I know everything that is going on pop culture. How did I not know about Titanic Part 2? Also, how could you have a Titanic Part 2? I mean, he died, right? Remember at the end, she's on a piece of driftwood that could easily fit 3 people, but she doesn't let him on there. And this is how it starts. Yes. I'm coming. She opens up the door. Kate Winslet opens up the door and it's Jack. And he's like, hi. And she goes, you lived. And he says, I lived. And then they embrace. It was all AI generated. And I fell for it. I fell for it until I saw Leonardo DiCaprio's face and something's kind of wrong with it. It was like a AI generated body and then just like a cartoon face. And then I was like, okay. But y'all, it had like 2 million views. People are falling for this.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
You've got to really watch. Okay. I won't go too far down this because I know it will bore you to tears, but there are 2 things that are very interesting along these lines.
Okay.
One is Denmark has just passed a law.
Oh God, you've lost me already.
Where basically, at least in the States, I'm not sure where all the terms are over there, but intellectual property, copyright, trademark, patent, all that kind of stuff. Basically, everyone owns every aspect of them. So if someone makes an AI generation, then they have grounds to aggressively sue them because they stole this property.
Okay, stop. That's actually genius, right? That's actually very good for people.
Yeah, it's amazing that the states haven't already had this because, it's been a few years now with the deep fake stuff, especially with celebrities and pornography and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of surprising that it's not already here.
Here, for sure.
Because you already do have your name, image, and likeness. Mm-hmm. We've heard that a lot, like in sports, the NIL, but name, image, and likeness goes to you. So there's already some stuff built in there that I'm sure they're attacking a lot of that with and everything. So, but I thought that was very interesting that Denmark passed that.
Yeah. Why are they ahead of us in that?
But the other thing that's very interesting, there was $150 billion.
How much, David?
Billion with a B. I don't know. Sometimes if your bank account isn't like ours in the billions, you may not know this, but there is so much difference between $1 million and $1 billion. I mean, it's ridiculous how much.
Well, but is there a lot of difference between? I get between 1 million and a billion. Is there a lot of difference between 500 million and a billion? No.
Yeah, it's half. So
keep going.
So anyway, but I hate to say the company if I'm off. I'm 95% sure it was Perplexity, which is one of the big AI platforms. $150 billion, and it's going to be divided up over, was it 5,000? I think 5,000 books that they uploaded into the AI to teach the AI. And they lost the lawsuit, and they have plaintiffs have been awarded it was a class action from authors.
Wait,
that it was uploaded.
That's how they taught AI. They uploaded books into AI, like Catcher in the Rye or an encyclopedia or what? I mean,
maybe even textbooks and
Chicken Fried Women.
It would have been before that, but maybe Eat Cake Be Brave.
Oh my gosh, that's how they learned my bra size.
Anyway, so that's another great.
And the writers of said books got nothing for that.
Not at the time, but now the lawsuit, it was a class action lawsuit.
Wow.
And so now they're going to be reimbursed.
You know what, David? That sort of bores me, but it doesn't bore me totally. You said it would bore me totally, and it sort of did. But sort of I was impressed with your knowledge.
Well,
dang.
I just think that was pretty interesting. And again, it's the first AI copyright lawsuit. So that could, now there's a lot of others that are filed out there already. So that could really make the dominoes start to kind of fall. So very, very interesting though. So
that is interesting.
My mind, that was a lot of information. My mind's kind of
let's take
heavy.
a break.
I just gotta retrieve my thoughts, collect my energy.
David, you've got to refuel. You've got to fill up your tank.
We'll be right back after this quick message.
This episode is being brought to you by my new book, Chicken Fried Women, Friendship, Kinship, and the Women Who Made Us This Way. Have you ever known any strong, Southern, smart aleck, sassy, opinionated women? You do? You know my family. You can find this book anywhere books are sold. Amazon, grab it today. You'll love it. Now, back to the show.
Okay. David Radke started to tell me and Rocco this story the other night that he read in the paper. First
What's
of all,
that?
when was the last time you had a paper in your hand and read a paper? I don't even know.
I don't remember. It would have had to be, and I don't even think they do this
Poor
anymore.
David, he thinks I really needed an answer for that.
I was going to say, hotels used to do USA Today.
Yeah, they'd put them under your door.
I'm not real sure they do that anymore, but that would have probably been the last place.
So he was reading it on his phone, and I started to get tickled at it. And I was like, stop. Don't share it with me. Don't tell me all of it. Just share it on the podcast. So David is going to tell me this story again for y'all's amusement.
Okay. So some of y'all maybe have heard this. I think it happened a little bit ago, but I just ran across it the other day, and it just was absolutely hysterical for me. So a turkey man, not a turkey man, a man that I think everyone would have already heard about.
First of all, if you're Turkish, our apologies. That was terrible, David. A turkey man.
A gentleman in Turkey. A Turkish man, a gentleman in Turkey, went out drinking one night, and
it's like it's going to be a joke.
It's funny, but it's not a joke. How would you say that gentleman's name? Because I'll butcher it.
Bayhan Mutlu.
So
that's how I would say it.
Mr. Mutlu had been drinking with friends. I would like to point out it was a Tuesday night, so it wasn't even a weekend night.
Okay, he's hitting it hard.
But he did enjoy himself with his friends. Mm-hmm. Had tied on a
He's
few.
a turkey man. He likes wild turkey.
So anyway, he was not fully about his wits, and he wandered off into a forest. That was the last place that his friends had seen him.
Oh, okay.
And so when he failed to return, his wife started to panic. The friends started to panic, and they alerted local authorities. We've got to go find him. This is the last place we saw him. And so they get together, a search party, and they're walking
like
through.
Equisearch, where they get on horses.
So they're walking through trying to find him. Well, all of a sudden he sees a group of people. Back to Mr. Mutlu, the drunk man. He all of a sudden sees a bunch of people. It's the search party that's searching for him. And so what you doing? Well, we're trying to find this guy that's lost. He goes, well, I'll help you. And he joins in the search party to find himself.
I'm going to tell y'all.
And he's looking around trying to find this man. And all of a sudden he hears, Mr. Mutlu, Mr. Mutlu. He goes, yeah, I'm right here.
Okay.
And everybody realized he was part of the search party at that point.
If I did one of those spit DNA tests, okay, 33andMe, I'm going to tell you it would trace my ancestors back. And I'd be Turkish. And I guarantee you, if we look closely, somewhere I'm a Mutlu. Okay?
Oh, you a Mutlu.
That sounds exactly like something that would have happened on my mother's side.
But I love this. So he gave a statement to, one of the rescue officers. This sounds also like your Mutlu people.
Mm-hmm.
It said, please don't punish me too harshly, officer. My father is going to kill me.
I'm telling y'all, this has to have been, my mother's people have to, you always say we're Polish on here. Okay. That's because one time David misspoke and said we're very Polish on here. And he meant polished. Okay. I think we're Turkish is what I think. I think I'm a Mutlu. By the way, speaking of things that you mispronounce, the other night you were telling me and David and me and Rocco and Taylor a story, and twice, not once, twice, you said Nike instead of Nike. And it was so odd and uncomforting to our ears that even Taylor went, Mr. David, you keep saying Nike. You know it's Nike, right? Why did you do that? Why did you keep saying that? And then this one goes like this. Well, y'all do know that Nike, it was actually founded in the German country and it was Nike. That's how they pronounced it. Us Americans made it. No, I refuse to believe you were trying to teach us some history lesson. I think you were having a stroke.
I have. It's very funny that I consider myself a somewhat intelligent person. I've gone, through school and did well, and law school and did well. I have a very big problem with spelling. I have a very big problem with mispronouncing, especially people's names, but words in general.
Yeah, like when he said, we're very Polish.
And so I actually had stumbled on some other word, and Rocco had made some big deal about it. I can't remember what the word was. And so when I said that, I have no idea why Nike came out. But I was going to stick with it at that point because he was coming at me with that one. And I do actually believe it was originally Nike.
Okay, but you don't know because that for sure.
His name is Philip Knight.
David, you don't know of what you speak, honey.
I don't.
You don't. You don't even know what you're talking about.
I couldn't Google fast.
Okay.
Since
listen, we're going to get to the heart of this show. Okay. And the heart of this show is the Emmys. And some of y'all are like, tuning out right now. Well, there's some things we need to talk about. Okay. I want to discuss the host, Nate Bargatze, who is our personal favorite. Love Nate Bargatze, was the host. I want to talk about how he did. I want to talk about some shows that won because y'all, the big winner, well, there's a couple of big winners. The Studio, which is on Apple TV, big, huge winner for comedy. David and I have watched it. It's funny, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't.
I think it's funny. I'm trying to think of each episode. Sometimes it goes a little bit racy, but
racy?
Yeah.
That show has never been racist one time.
Not racist, racy.
Okay. I think you're mispronouncing a word, maybe. Do you mean, I would think maybe you would say.
That's kind of racy.
I would think you would say that's kind of like, it's a little off color or a little
Okay, off color.
Racy sounds like a word from the 60s. Okay, anyway.
No, nothing to do with a person's race. Just kind of like.
It's racy. I don't know, David. That is just weird.
Is it? Am I the only one that haven't you heard? She was kind of dressed racy.
What?
Really?
David, I'm just saying, I don't think people have said that in a very, very, very long time.
Well, I'm bringing it back.
Okay, the other big, huge show winner was Adolescent from Netflix. So this was the show, because David was like, what is this show? I don't know this show. I watched it. I think I told you at the time you wouldn't like it. I didn't really get why everybody was like, oh, you got to sit your family down and watch this show. This show should be shown in schools. I don't really get that. It wasn't all, I mean, it was good, but my Aunt Melba, Lord, she was like, I saw online where a child therapist said we should watch it. And I watched it and I just can't even bear to think of my grandkids going to school today. And I've just done nothing but pray. It didn't do all that to me. I mean, it was a good show, but like, I don't know. But it won tons of stuff.
Do you think it was maybe because our kids are already out of adolescence?
No.
I have no idea what the show is still.
Well,
I
don't know. I guess I don't know. Anyway, and then the other huge winner was The Pit on HBO. And we've not watched 1 second of it. I mean, David and I kind of felt like we were like, oh my gosh, there's a new show that we get to watch. The Pit won so much and we haven't watched any of it. And every time I tell somebody we've not watched any of The Pit, they're like, what? It's so good. But you and I actually have never been huge medical drama people.
No, I don't even remember way back in the day us being
big ER fans.
Yeah. And you didn't even watch Grey's Anatomy like in its
until
prime.
2020.
Yeah. So I don't know. We've never really got pulled into the medical stuff.
So we're going to watch The Pit. So we're going to start it. But those were the three big winners. But I wanted to tell you.
What's the, not as big as either one of those, but Severance had a couple of awards.
Severance had a couple of, some of their actors won. And they were nominated. They actually went into the Emmy Awards with the most nominations that night. But then I think only two things won.
Oh, Severance had, I thought the studio had the most.
The studio had the most of a comedy, like.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, don't get me sidetracked on facts, David. You know I don't like that. What I was going to say is, so the girl who plays Helly R on Severance, she's the main girl. She's got the red hair. You know her. Did you notice anything on her sheet when she took it out and read it? Mm. She took out a little piece of paper and read her thank yous. And on the back was the words, "Let me out."
No.
Yes. And people are noticing it and going wild.
That is very good.
I
don't know if she thought of that or a publicist or
Kristen Bell.
That was very.
Someone noticed it at home, zoomed in. Kristen Bell actually took a screenshot of it and said, "You are a genius," and circled it, but it said, "Let me out." And if you watch Severance, you know what that's referring to. Really cool way to throw in, because that show is such a mystery, to really throw in something. That was a cool moment.
The other thing I thought was neat was, now we haven't watched a lot of Stephen Colbert, but it was very cool if his talk show, which has been incredible for so long. And last night they said they'd won the best, was it talk show or something? They had won some award for the show, maybe the writing, for 8 years in a row.
Yeah.
It's at a very high level, but it's been, it's not going to be renewed.
No.
When they finish, maybe this month even, it's not going to be renewed.
And that's not a Stephen Colbert thing. People say that's a CBS thing. That's not Stephen Colbert saying I'm ready to retire.
Yeah.
He's devastated.
So it's just cool last night when he went out to do an award.
He was the first presenter of the night.
He presented an award. The whole place stood up and cheered. And
they started off the entire night with Stephen Colbert. Well, no, they started off with a little sketch with Nate, but then Stephen Colbert was the very first presenter. They knew people would have this, huge round of applause for him because it has been so vocal. and so written up about this talk show going off, that you asked me, why is it going off? And I said, I honestly don't understand.
Occasionally a show can be like, it can be critically acclaimed,
but people don't watch it.
Like, I think that kind of happened with Arrested Development.
Right.
Like, there was a niche audience and critically, but it just didn't commercially take off like they wanted or whatever.
But that doesn't seem to be the case.
It doesn't seem to be. It seems like it. But anyway.
And then like things have been written up and they're like, CBS, he is too radical about not liking the president and policy. And he talks about it all the time. So CBS is getting a lot of pushback from the White House. I don't understand how anyone who has a nighttime show at the same time as Jimmy Kimmel can call that show radical. Jimmy Kimmel's radical about politics.
But we don't watch either one.
I don't watch either one. Jimmy Kimmel, he don't even pretend to gloss over anything he thinks about politics. So why would they kick off Stephen Colbert and not?
Well, you're talking about different networks. You're talking about different networks. So they have different demographics and different advertisers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And like they said in the opening skit, you mentioned the opening sketch they did. I hate to call it a skit. The opening sketch was really funny. But they kind of joked in there that CBS was the Caucasian broadcast system. So that may have something
it is
to do with it as well. But anyway, he won. People went crazy. They really loved it. And I did. I thought Nate did a great job. The opening sketch was really funny with some of the Saturday Night Live people. And just a couple of times he did get to talk a little bit more were funny. But then the greatest thing was the way that they asked him, how do we keep people on time? And evidently this was Nate's idea from everything I've heard at this point, at least. He said, I've got a great idea. You want to tell him?
He said, I'm going to donate, and it came up on a big, huge screen. I'm going to donate $100,000 to the Boys and Girls Club of America. The place went crazy. That's so great. And he said, remember that feeling that you feel right now, because this is where it gets hard. Each of you are allotted 45 seconds to speak. For every one of you that goes over 45 seconds
in your award
acceptance, they will deduct $1,000 per second that you go over. So if you go over 5 seconds, we are now down to only $95,000 for the Boys and Girls Club. However, if you come up here and only go 30 seconds, leaving 15 extra seconds, we go up. We're now going to have $115,000 for the Boys and Girls Club. Needless to say, Hollywood is so full of themselves. Okay. They literally so full of themselves. They are so ridiculous in wanting to toot their own horn that by the end of the evening, so many had gone over, they were negative $26,000. Now, the great part is CBS, is that what was on, or CBS decided, no, we're going to donate $100,000. And Nate said, and I personally am going to give $250,000. So they were walking away with $350,000 for the Boys and Girls Club. And that's great. And that's wonderful. But I got up this morning.
I thought it was funny. Number one, I think it worked. Number two, I think it helped what it would have been. So I think it was funny, and I think that it worked.
But of course, some critics are coming out and saying, it was a little played. It was a little played. He had this shtick and he did it over and over and over. One of the reviewers said every time Bargatze was on the screen, that is what he talked about.
That's not true, though.
Well, it is kind of true. And I love him, but it was kind of true. Here's the thing. Nate Bargatze is made a name for himself in making fun of Nate Bargatze. Nate doesn't take cheap shots at people. Nate's not going to talk about your plastic surgery in the front row and your divorce in the third row and all the ladies who have new faces in the crowd. That is definitely something Conan O'Brien would do hilariously, or David Letterman would do back in his heyday hilariously. That isn't what Nate does. Nate's known as being a really nice guy. I think when you put him in front of a crowd like that and he can't pull punches on them, he had to have something. And I think it was genius. And I think it was great marketing and it was very, very funny.
I think
you kind of tie his hands a little bit.
I think that is really looking for something. I think it's really looking for something. Number one, besides the $350,000 that the Boys and Girls Club received, just the attention to them, and even the two kids walking the winners off the stage, it brought attention to them. That to me is people looking for somebody to.
Well, don't get me wrong.
Find something.
Nate Bargatze is extremely clean. He does not curse. He is an outspoken believer. So if you thought that Hollywood wasn't going to wake up this morning
they were
critics
looking for something.
and look for something, you're wrong. To be perfectly honest, I felt like the crowd was a little bit leery of him. Let me say it this way. Ricky Gervais is cruel when he hosts the Golden Globes. He is cruel. He is so mean to people. And they are automatically ready to laugh at him and laugh with him, even at their own expense. They acted far more cautious about Nate. I don't think they know what to do with him. Yeah. Carson Daly said on the Today Show, he goes, I think Nate was incredible. I think he's family friendly. I think he's nice. I thought it brought a little bit of a different tone to the Emmys, and I really liked it. I worried about him, though. I thought they were going to chew him up and spit him out.
Well, and what you said is it's a good insight, because I wonder how many people in that room have actually knew who he was. I mean, it's hard for him to be the largest comedian out there and the biggest tour for them not to know who he is, but have truly listened to more than just like a clip and really know who he is and what he's about and those kind of things.
Yeah.
And so sometimes that also can cause people to go, because
he even
not everybody in the room, obviously, but a lot of people in that room, that's not the type of comedy they're looking for personally.
For sure. And he even started off with, if you don't know who I am, things in Hollywood haven't always gone great for me. It's going really good everywhere else, and they clapped at that. But anyway, check out those shows. If you haven't checked out The Pit, check out that and then get back with us. Let us know what you think. We're excited to start it. I suppose we can start watching that tonight when I make a recipe that Rocco found on TikTok and sent to me.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
I said, Rocco, you don't eat anything I make. He goes, because you're not making this kind of stuff right here. Do you hear at the beginning of what he said at the beginning? I said, it's called Midwest meals. Okay. It's not called Southern meals. He said, yeah, it's called Midwest meals. And he goes, here's a recipe that I made this week and my children didn't freak out. I said, his children are 2 and 3. Go look at his videos. He's like, well, I think he's making good stuff. So he has sent me 2 things that he wants. I'm going to make them. Let's see if he eats them or if he goes. Has to meet friends at Chick-fil-A. We'll be right back after this.
This episode is being brought to you by my new book, Chicken Fried Women, Friendship, Kinship, and the Women Who Made Us This Way. Have you ever known any strong, Southern, smart aleck, sassy, opinionated women? You do? You know my family. You can find this book anywhere books are sold. Amazon, grab it today. You'll love it. Now, back to the show.
Okay, guys, it's time for our little fun portion of the podcast. And today's is a little bit different. I came across some pretty crazy would you rather questions. And David went through and picked his 2 questions to ask me. And I went through and picked 2 questions to ask him. So David, you start, then me, then you, then me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. This is a would you rather. And my first one is, would you rather.
This is to me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you rather be trapped in a hot air balloon, or would you rather be trapped in an underwater tunnel?
OMG. I am deathly afraid of heights, but an underwater tunnel, that is telling me nothing. That you are not telling me a thing. Are there sharks swimming by it? Do I know where I'm going? Have I got a pack on? How long have I got to hold my breath? What's going on down there? As a massage therapist once said to me mid-couples massage, as I was being massaged alongside my mother, she got down to my feet where I have a little scar thing on my foot, and the scar has grown on the outside of my foot. And she touched it and she said, Miss Radke, what's going on down here? And then all of a sudden I just heard my mother go. And now it's a sentence that we say all the time. What's going on down there, David? I have to pick hot air balloon, which is saying something because at least I can see my landscape. I picked that. Did you think I'd pick that?
I assumed you would. I would pick that without any question, any other information. First of all,
David would be happy up there.
First of all, I've always thought it'd be cool to take a hot air balloon. We never have, because the one time we had just an opportunity to experience it, it was at a kind of a little fall festival, and the hot air balloon was tethered to the ground. Okay. It didn't actually, it lifted up. It was tied to the ground. So I think it went.
It raised me up.
I don't know what it went, like 40, 50 feet in the air.
You don't know what 40, 50 feet is.
I do. That'd be like a 4 or 5 story building.
Yeah, it would. I'm glad you know that.
And it went up, but it was tied to the ground. She screamed the entire time we went up and the entire time we came down. So I've never been able to, but I would definitely do that over being trapped in any tunnel, underwater, above water.
For sure.
In the air.
The word tunnel, I was done.
No.
Okay. David, for the rest of your entire life, would you rather have your whole body covered in mosquito bites and you can never get used to the itchiness, or your entire body is covered in a thick layer of honey? Which you have to understand. First of all, this one is you can't ever get Benadryl ain't helping. They're itching nonstop. But that layer of honey is bringing on a whole different set of problems. You can't walk anywhere without stuff sticking to you. You can't go outside. You can't never go outside again. How you gonna put pants on? What about your hair? This is what I refer to as a doozy. It's a doozy.
A quandary. I think I would have to go honey. I think I would go honey. Mosquito bites all over.
All over.
Like even
on your testicles.
Even one would be, but all over forever. That would.
In your scalp, in your ear. Yeah.
Yeah, that would. The honey wouldn't be optimal either, but maybe you could figure out a way to manage that one. Okay. Is that what you would do?
A thick layer of honey? I think I'd probably just check out. I go with I don't know. Where would I go? How would I live?
I think I would write a song to make a lot of money. Pour some honey on me.
Come on and fatten me up.
All right. So, okay. Would you rather go up into the attic and find out that a person has been living there?
Why did you pick out extreme fears of mine?
So would you rather go up into the attic and find that a person had been living there? Or would you rather go up and find 1,000 cockroaches?
1,000 cockroaches. You give me 1,000 cockroaches. That ain't good. That ain't going to be a happy day. David better have some Marriott points because we're going to be there. But a person living in my attic, you're going to have to burn this thing down and start over. I'm not kidding you. You will burn this house. I will burn it down.
When the police came and removed them, they would be up there no longer.
Absolutely not. They got in there somehow. David, we'd have to start over. I'd pick cockroaches. What did you think I'd pick?
Cockroaches.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I would too. Because
let me tell you something.
I figure that'd be terrible, but yeah, we'd go out of town for a couple of days, have exterminators come.
To this day, it terrifies me. When I was little, we have an attic door in our ceiling in our hallway. My dad would open the attic door and he would go, And I would say, what are you doing? And he would say, oh, that's not me. That's a little girl sitting up there. Hi, little girl. Is that your rocking chair you're sitting in? And he would do that to me when I was 6, 7 years old, that there was a little girl that looked like an old woman sitting in a rocking chair, rocking back and forth in my attic. I had to live like that. That's no way to live.
I can still go up in the attic and say something to it.
And it
still drives me.
Yeah.
I tried it with Remy when she was young. She very excitedly ran up the stairs and went,
where is she?
I don't see her.
Okay, I'm going to ask this last one, and I'm going to ask a favor. I need my mother-in-law to log off. Log off. I know what you like to hear, and you ain't going to like to hear it. Okay? So now she's got to press stop on her computer, so we got to give her a good 8 to 10 minutes. All right? Get off. David, would you rather accidentally send a nude picture of yourself to everyone in your work email? Now imagine you worked at a place with your email's got like 16 people in it, or be forced to watch 20 seconds of your parents' sex tape. Which would you rather do? You're forced. You can't close your eyes. You have to sit there for a full 20.
Is the said nude in my current physical condition, or could it be from my peak physical condition?
When was that? I'd like to know. I'd like to know what era that was. It's current.
I would still probably have to say the nude.
Okay, not me. I'd pick that 20 seconds. And I'm going to tell y'all why. My parents move so slow. They move so slow. They'd be the pulling back of the sheets, the arguing about it. I could take 20 seconds. Are you kidding me? Scoot over. You're in my way. I told you to turn that ceiling fan on.
That doesn't go there.
It would be painless. Okay. Oh Lord.
I don't like to end on that one, so I'm going to ask you one more.
Why?
I'd like to end more on an up note.
We did. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is just more, I don't know, just kind of a silly one. Would you rather be able to eat as much of anything as you want, of everything that you want, and it all ends up being like healthy and nutritious and helping your health in your body?
Yes, I don't have to hear the other one. I don't have to hear it. Don't even tell it to me. Yes, you just said every girl's dream. A lot of times men think that a good-looking man is a woman's dream. No, it isn't. Brownie dough that helps you is every girl's dream.
Okay.
What's the second one? Is it going to be about money? I still would rather have the food thing.
No. The other one is, or you sleep 1 hour a day and are completely rested.
Oh, the food. Oh, absolutely. The food thing. David, leave your comments below. And if your comment is about the rest, you're not invited here anymore. Okay. Because you don't have the same problems. 100%.
I would pick the rest, because I feel like lately I've been sleeping 8, sometimes 9 hours, and I'm still not waking up.
Well, that's a you problem. That's a you problem. We want the food.
1 hour fully rested, and then I had 23 hours to do everything. Woo.
Hey, if you cannot give this a 5-star review, who are you?
You can't count to 5.
You can't count to 5. Okay. If you can only give it 3 stars, you got a problem. This is worth 5 stars. So make sure that you hit like and subscribe and all the things so that you never miss anything.
Sorry we have to go. The chimichangas are arriving.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Radke Show. We're going to end now so that you can go and love on your people. Till next time.